Okay, so today we are going to start with the concept of resistance because before resistance, we already know about the concept of voltage. In voltage, we studied there are two categories, EMF and potential difference. EMF is the voltage linked with the source, and potential difference is the voltage across the component connected in the circuit. So, this is the difference between EMF and potential difference. And for example, before resistance, we have one more thing to discuss. If we talk about the combination of the sources, like the combination of the cell, because in different devices you observe, in some device we connect cells or batteries in series combination, like one after one, or in some circuit we use parallel combination of the cells and the battery. So what is the difference between them? So first of all, let's discuss that. Then we will discuss about the concept of resistance, combination, or we can say cells in series. So cells in series means like we have one cell, then after that we have second, then third, fourth, and so on, depending upon the number of cells. So let's suppose this is the symbol of the cell or the battery. So we have one, two, three. So this is the type of series combination. So basically, what is the advantage of using cell in series combination? The advantage of using cells in series combination, that you will get the sum of all the EMF of the cells connected in series combination. So basically, the total voltage is algebraic sum of EMFs of each cell. So for example, if one cell gives you 1.5 volt value, so for example, if this is equals to 1.5 volt, this is also 1.5. So if we combine all these cells in series combination, just like shown in the diagram, so the total voltage will be equals to 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. So this will be the total voltage of all the cells connected in series combination. So let's suppose if you have a small values of the cells and you want to make a cell of a greater value, so you can connect multiple cells in series combination. So you will get a large value of the voltage because all the cells are connected in series combination. So this is the advantage, that you will get the greater value or the different value of the voltage if we add cells in series combination. But we also have disadvantage. For example, if we consider the advantage, so advantage is you will get a greater or different values produced, and disadvantage if one component stops working, whole circuit will also stop. So basically, the problem with series combination is if one component is damaged or one component is not working, so the whole chain or the whole series will stop working because there is defect in one component in series combination, because it is like a chain combination. And in chain combination, if you have like any defect somewhere in the chain, so definitely the whole chain will get disturbed and it will not work. If any one cell or if any one battery in series combination stops working. So this is the disadvantage of using series combination. So you have to replace that component, then your circuit again starts to work. Okay. And for example, if we consider different type of combination of cells, for example, if we consider two cells in this way, the value of one cell is 3 volts and the other one is 2 volt. So what will be the answer for this combination? And in the same way, if we have one combination in this way and we have same values, 3 volt, 2 volt. So what is the final answer of this combination? And in the same way, if we have one more connection like this, but we have same values like 3 volt, 3 volt. So what will be the final answer? Then we have this combination. So we have 3 volt, 5 volt, 9 volt. So what will be the answer? So basically, we have four different combination. Number one, two, three, and four. So what will be the final value in combination number one? If we connect cell in series combination according to orientation number one. So what is the final answer for orientation number one? The final answer will be equals to 5 volts because we have same ends connected on one side. So the charges are moving towards left hand side. So final answer will be equals to 3 plus 2 equals to 5 volts. But in second diagram, we have opposite directions. Like the first cell shows positive is on left side and the other shows positive on the other side. We have opposite direction. So it will be 3 minus 2 equals to 1 volt. Then we have third option. In third option, again, we have same type of combination, but we have same values also. So this will give you 0 volt, no voltage. And in the third combination, we have left hand side, then right hand side, then one left hand side. So 3 and 9. 3 and 9 are in same direction. 5 is in opposite direction. So we will do like this. 3 plus 9, they are in same direction. 5 is in opposite direction. 7 volt, right? So this is the concept of the combination of the cells in series combination. And we also need to consider the directions also, because directions are also important. Otherwise, you will get wrong answer if you ignore the direction of positive and negative signs. And if we consider combination, parallel combination of the cells, so cells in parallel combination means we have same ends connected on one side and the other end connected on the other side. So this is the concept of parallel combination, that same ends are connected on one side and the other end connected on the other side. And for example, if this is 1.5 volt, this is 1.5 volt also. It is connected into the circuit. V1, V2. Now, basically, in parallel combination, we have to attach the equal EMF of the cell. So we have cells of equal EMF are attached in parallel. And why we are using same EMF? The reason is very simple, because the combined voltage will be equals to the value of single cell. For example, we have two cells of 1.5 and 1.5 each, but you will get 1.5 in your result. But this 1.5 will be long lasting. You will get 1.5 volt for longer time as compared to series combination. The combined voltage is equal to the EMF of each cell. So basically, if we consider this combination as shown in the diagram, so in this combination, the total voltage will be equals to V1 or V2. That means 1.5 volts. For example, in remote controls, we observe that that cell will work for longer time in remote control. So there will be like a parallel combination. That's why you will get, because remote control does not require very high voltage. They can operate on very low voltage also. So that's why we are using parallel combination in the cell remote controls, because that voltage will be long lasting and you will get same uh, type of the voltage for a longer time. So if we talk about the advantages, and the other advantage is if one cell stops working, so still you will get the same voltage in the output. So if one cell fails, the other keeps the circuit working. Second advantage, cells last stronger as load on each cell is now reduced. Because we are using two cells and both cells gives you the same value 1.5, and in output we are getting value 1.5. It means one cell, the load on one cell will be less as compared to the situation when we are using only one cell in the circuit, right? So this is the difference. So these are the advantages and the concept of series and parallel combination of the cells in the circuits. Now, after this concept of the combination of the cells, we have now another quantity, electrical quantity, that is called resistance. And by name, the concept of the resistance is very much clear, that it will give you some hindrance in the flow of charges. And the proper definition of resistance is, it is the ratio of voltage to current across a resistor. So this is the complete definition of the resistance. But in simple words, for understanding, we can say that it is the hindrance in the path of flow of charges. So in simple words, we can say it is the hindrance in the path of flow of charges, and the proper definition when you are going to write the proper definition. So you have to write it is the ratio of voltage and the electric current. So that is the proper definition of the resistance. And according to this definition, R is equals to V over I. So the formula is R equals to V over I. So this is the concept of the resistance. And the SI unit is ohms. So this is the SI unit of resistance. So the formula of resistance is very simple, and you can observe one more thing, that in resistance formula, we have the previous quantities included also, the voltage quantity and the electric current quantity that we already studied. So now we have combination of all three quantities together, voltage, current and resistance. And the SI unit of resistance is ohms, because we have Ohm's law in this chapter also, and Ohms is the name of the scientist. So that's why the SI unit of resistance is also on the name of scientist Ohms. After that, if we consider the factors that affect the resistance, because in our daily life we observe different types of wire, different types of conductor. For example, if you take example of like a power bank. So in power bank, you observe we have a small length of charging wire, right? As compared to the normal charging wire we got with the charger. So there is a difference in the length, because in power bank we have limited type of charges, or we have limited number of charges available. So we have to like make it more efficient. So that's why we are using a small length of the wire. So charges can travel easily from the power bank to the phone. Because if we use a long wire, so long wire gives you more resistance, because it takes more time for the charge to travel, and more time means less value of electric current and more value of resistance. Because from this formula you can see both are inversely proportional. If we have higher resistance, so we have low value of electric current. So both are inversely. So if we talk about the factors, so the first factor is length. So length means if we have long wires, so long wires have more resistance. Longer wires have more resistance. So a longer wire means, for example, if we have longer wires, so in longer wires, we have to do more work because we have to push charges through a long distance. So we have more work done in longer wires. So more work to be done in longer wires. Then we have more voltage needed. And according to the formula, you observe that R is directly proportional to the voltage and inversely proportional to the electric current. So greater voltage gives you greater resistance. So more voltage gives you more resistance. So this is the concept of the longer wires, right? And the second factor is related to the cross-sectional area, like the thickness of the wire. If we have thick wires, if we have thin wires, so let's see what will be the difference if we are using a different thickness of the wires. Cross-sectional area. So cross-sectional area means if you consider like example of water pipe. So we have different types of water pipe. So if we have a small mouth of the water pipe, so there will be less amount of water flow through that pipe. But if we have a large cross-sectional area or large mouth of the water pipe, so there will be more quantity of water that can flow through that specific region of the pipe. So that gives you the greater idea of cross section and more amount of water flow through that specific region of the pipe. So the first factor is about length. So resistance is directly proportional to length. And second factor is about cross-sectional area. Cross-sectional area is inversely proportional, like thick wires have less resistance. So this is the concept of the cross-sectional area. It means resistance is inversely proportional to cross-sectional area. Because if we increase cross-sectional area, so resistance will decrease. So that's why it is inversely proportional. So first of all, if we have greater cross-sectional area, so greater cross-sectional area allows more electrons can pass at a time, and there will be more value of electric current and more current means less resistance. So resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. So if we combine these two equations, so it will be equals to L upon A. And when we remove this proportionality sign, we got one constant value which is equals to the concept of resistivity. This symbol represents resistivity. Resistivity means it depends upon the material. For example, if we are using copper wire, so this value will remain same. Or in the same way, if we consider silver wire, so the value of silver wire will be different and that will remains the same. And in the same idea, if we consider any type of wire, so the value of that material will remain same, right? Throughout the experiment or throughout the uh, flow of the current we are using in the circuit. So this is the difference. So that's why this factor of resistivity remains the same for a specific type of the material we are using. So mostly like 99% in the question, this value remains the same. The resistivity remains the same. So you don't need to learn any specific value, any specific quantity for this resistivity, because that will most of the time remain same, and it depends upon temperature. It is a material property and it depends upon or it affects by the temperature. Affected by temperature. This formula is very, very important for calculation because now we practice some questions related to this specific concept of the factor affecting resistance. So you will get idea that how to apply this formula in the calculation and what type of question we are getting in the past papers practice questions specific related to this topic. So before that, any question, any confusion in this concept?
No, it's clear.
Okay. So now we consider questions. Okay, for electric current, you can see we also like have practice questions in the past papers related to electric current, and the formula of electric current is very simple. So the question is the current in a car headlamp is 2 ampere and the headlamp is switched on for 4 minutes. So how much charge passes through the headlamp? We know that the formula is I equals Q over T or Q equals IT. Current is 2 ampere. Time is 4 minutes and in 1 minute there are 60 seconds. So 4 into 60 into 2, 480 coulombs. So D is the answer. So you can see we have a simple type of questions in the past papers also related to electric current formula. And what about question number 2? 1 volt also be expressed. 1 volt means we are talking about the unit of voltage. So we discussed that 1 volt can be like energy per unit charge or work done per unit charge. In both cases, we have joules per coulomb, right? So it means option D,
D. Yeah.
right? So we have this type of questions also in the past paper. It is not compulsory that we will get only a difficult type of questions. We have basic questions also. Okay, this is for combination of the cells. The diagram shows a battery of three 1.5 volt cells. What is an advantage of this arrangement of cells? So we have parallel combination of the cells, we know, and in this parallel combination, as we discussed, that it will be long lasting and we will get the same voltage like the individual cell. So the battery can supply a current for a longer time than a single 1.5 volt cell. So option A is correct. Or the battery supplies more energy to each coulomb of charge than a single 1.5 volt cell. So option A or option C. In option A, they are talking about electric current. In option C, they are talking about uh, energy to each coulomb of charge. It means they are talking about voltage. So what do you think? Which option is correct?
I think A.
Option A. Okay, right. Because option C is about more voltage than 1.5. So we know that voltage will be 1.5, but there will be less load on each cell. Okay. Question number 10. This is related to the factor affecting the resistors. A 1 meter, this is 1 meter. 1 meter length of wire of cross-sectional area, zero point 0.4 millimeter square, has a resistance of 2 ohms. So what is the resistance of 0.5 meter length of wire of same material with a cross-sectional area of this?
It will be less that it will be less than 2, that much we can know.
Okay. So basically, according to this formula that we discussed, so we discuss about this resistivity factor. So same material means that resistivity will be same.
Mm,
So this resistivity factor
yeah.
will be same. And now There are two ways to solve this type of question. Either you can solve simultaneously or by the substituting method. It's your choice. So for example, this is, let's suppose, length 1, and this is cross-sectional area 1, and this is resistance 1. In the same way, we have length 2 and cross-sectional area 2, and we have to find out R2. So the easiest method is, for example, if we write formula for R2. So let's suppose R2 is equals to rho L2 over A2, and L2, uh, the value of L2 is given, the value of A2 is given, right? In the same way, if we write formula for R1, so R1 will be equals to the same formula. And we notice one thing, that we have resistivity, this factor is constant. So if we shuffle the formula and make this quantity subject, so you will get formula like this. Ra over L, right? So when we have this quantity constant, so we can relate R1 A1 over L1 equals to R2 A2 over L2, because we have same resistivity. So it will be R1 A1 over L1 equals to R2 A2 over L2. So we can make formula like this. And now you can make R2 as a subject and shuffle all other quantities on the other side. So it becomes R1 A1 L2 divided by L1 A2. So just simply we need to substitute the quantities. R1 is 2, A1 is 0.4, L2 is 0.5 divided by the product of 1 into 0.8. So final answer is 0.5, option A, right? So you will get this type of question many times in the past papers, in theory paper also, because this is very important concept in our syllabus. So there are multiple type of question related to this factor affecting resistance. So any confusion in this calculation?
No.
Okay. And if we consider some more questions related to the factor affecting resistance, so we have some other questions also. Question number 16. Now in question number 16, values are not given, just like the previous question. Okay, so basically, in this question, we have only R1 given, like resistance of one wire is only given. And for the other wire, it is mentioned same metal. Same metal means again the resistivity is same and 4 times the length and twice cross-sectional area. So it means that we have same factor of resistivity and 4 times length. It means the length of second wire is 4 times the length of first wire, right? Because it is mentioned another wire made from same metal has 4 times the length. So 4 times the length of first wire. And if we talk about the area, so twice the cross-sectional area as compared to the first one. So what is the resistance of the wire? So it means we have to find out R2. So this is another type of question related to the factor affecting resistance, and it is also simple. Again, we have to write the formula. R2 is equals to L2 over A2. On the place of L2, we know that it is equals to 4 times L1. And on the place of A, we have 2 times A1. So 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. We got final answer 2 times L1 over A1. And you know that if we write formula for R1, so it will be same like this, right? So all these quantities are equals to R1. 2 times R1. These quantities are equals to R1, right? So it means that the final answer will be equals to 2 times 16. That will be 32. So in this type of question, what you need to do, you just need to write the formula for the second wire. And then after writing the values or the quantities given in the question, you will get idea that the value of the second wire is equals to uh, sometimes the value of the first wire. So that's why we have to use the same formula, only we have to shuffle the quantities in different pattern as compared to the previous question. Because in previous question, we have multiple values given, but right now we have only limited values given. So this is the only difference. And in the same way, question number 40, the resistance of a cylindrical wire P. Okay, so this is wire P with value of 80 ohms. So this is overwriting. So the wire P has a resistance of 80 ohms. Then we have wire Q, which is made up from the same material. The cross-sectional area of Q is 4 times that of P, and the length of Q is twice the length of P. Again, the same concept, that cross-sectional area, it means the area of second wire is 4 times the area of the first, and the length of The second wire is 2 times the length of the first. So we have to use the same idea again. R2 is equals to L1 over A1. Sorry, L2 over A2. And when we substitute the values, L2 is 2 times L1. A2 is 4 times A1. Again, 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. It will be 1 over 2. And again, this value in the bracket is equals to R1. So it means that R2 is equals to R1. R1 is 80 ohms. So 80 divided by 2 equals to 40. Option B. So in this way, we can solve these type of questions related to the factor affecting resistance, right?